Brett Ambrosius, De Pere, Wisconsin.
Nate Tangway, McWanago, Wisconsin.
Aaron Seidel, Carlos, Minnesota.
Greg Menard, Lakeville, Minnesota.
MJ Stump, Harvey, North Dakota.
Matt Plank, Gardner, Kansas.
Pierre G. Tucker, Louisville, Illinois.
Galen Wimbush, St. Petersburg, Florida.
Robbie Dimsley, Hutchinson, Minnesota.
Trey Dempsey, Lakeland, Florida.
Jalen Allison, Papillion, Nebraska.
So here we go. Jake Colby, the sophomore quarterback, missed the first half last week but returned in the second half in a tight loss at Indiana State, and he completes his first pass for 9 yards up to the 26-yard line by Anthony Warham as we take a look at the Illinois State starting lineup, also brought to you by Shields. Offensive line, 5 fifth-year seniors on the offensive line for Illinois State. Keep an eye on Anthony Warham, pre-Valley selection, and Colby, the sophomore quarterback. We'll see a number of different players at running back. Jamal Towns, along with George Morera, DeMarco Corbin, and the true freshman James Robinson. First down, quick toss. Again, there's room to maneuver. And almost another first down, 9 yards up to the 37-yard line as Fowler makes his first reception of the day, and a couple of good plays and a good start here for Illinois State.
Well, Fowler's a kid that has flat speed. He was a track kid in JUCO, and then they made him a football player. So he doesn't have the greatest understanding of the offense yet, but if they can get him the ball in space, another person I want to talk about is Christian Gibbs, threw a great block on Grimsley, so it was a one-on-one tackle on the outside.
Colby, quick drop again. And this one is incomplete. Good coverage on the play by MJ Stump. Will bring up third down.
Well, it's obvious that Illinois State has come out with a package of putting the ball in the air. And why not? Their best position group on the offense is their wide receivers. You mentioned Warham. We've seen Fowler catch a pass. I talked about Gibbs. And they also have a kid who's pretty good, too, that Spencer Schnell is a wide receiver. So good position group and a solid tight end.
Morera gets the call. And Morera stood up at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got there.
No, he's short. They didn't gain anything.
Aaron Steidel got in there to make the play.
Not even a half the distance of the ball, on the length of the ball, I should say. That's where the Bison really feel they have an advantage today, is at defensive end. Nodak Mutual Insurance, the give, the good pressure right up the middle. Steidel is there. Also has Plank forcing a punt for Brock Spack. I said earlier before the game started, I said, I don't know Brock. I've never met him, but I really like him.
Brock Spack, an 83 graduate of Purdue, 58-31 in his career. And this punt out of bounds by Reese Addard, the Werribee, Australia native. And I believe we have Joe Mays, the former NDSU linebacker, downfield there with Bradford Eric.
I'm down here on the sideline with Bison great Joe Mays, who helped with the coin toss this afternoon. Joe, what's it like being back here in Fargo?
Oh, it's amazing. I haven't been back here in a while, so, some things are different, but at the same time, I think just the energy that I get from the people, the energy I get from being back in this place, it's amazing. I couldn't ask for anything better.
You were an All-American. You played defense back when the Bison were in the Great Western Conference. You were drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. What's this connection between the Philadelphia Eagles and Bison football? What do they see in Bison football that they like?
They know real football players. And, they know guys that are going to come in, work hard, do whatever they can to not only make the team, but to make the team better. So, the guy, Carson is really playing well. Then you have C.J. Smith. You got 3 guys that's on the team right now. And, they really enjoy the way that these guys come in and work.
All right, thanks so much, Joe. Enjoy Fargo.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Back to you guys.
Bradford, thanks. Great to hear from Joe Mays, one of the really good guys we enjoyed covering here in his time at North Dakota State.
I think Joe was the type of athlete that showed NDSU fans and the program how much difference the athleticism was between the Division II level and the FCS level.
Here's a look at Easton Stick taken down in the backfield there by Dalton Keene. And Keene, a very dominating performance against Northwestern a couple of weeks ago. Maybe their best player on defense, LT.
Well, he's certainly the best that they have along the defensive line, no doubt about that. And I talked about how NDSU's defensive ends might have an advantage. Well, the Bison think that they can pick and maybe get some yards a little bit against the D ends on the outside against the Redbirds today. So keep an eye on that as well.
Big third down here coming up for North Dakota State. 3rd and 6. Pressure coming. Bello got the pressure on stick and hit him as he threw. Intended target was Darius Shepard, incomplete, and a 3 and out for the North Dakota State offense. They'll have to punt.
Well, Bello's a kid who just rushed the passer. Well, he never did that at his previous school. So when he transferred to Illinois State after playing in the Big Ten, they're like, you want me to do what? And Coach Spack says, yeah, go get him. And he made that play.
4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles here. The Illinois transfer, originally from New Lenox, Illinois. As Jackson Coots comes on for his first punt of the day. Spencer Schnell deep for Illinois State. Low snap. Kuntz gets it off, and a pretty good punt, high and deep, dropping Schnell back to his own 36, and that's where Illinois State will have it. When we come back, we're scoreless on the Ag Country Farm Credit Service.
Timeout on the field.
Second possession for Illinois State, starting from their own 36.
I'll be interested to see how much Illinois State wants to try and run the ball today here early.
Delayed handoff. Nice move in the hole for just a couple of yards. Bison eventually stack him up. Pile keeps moving to about the 40-yard line. Jamal Towns gets the carry.
Yeah,
Jay Stump comes in for the tackle.
Yeah,
Jay Stump comes in for the tackle.
Got about another extra 3 yards out of that by just keep moving along. Of course, it's a transition for Illinois State. When you don't have Roberson and you don't have Coppridge, two of the most explosive offensive players in the history of this program, so they're still trying to figure some things out offensively.
Colby, play action, has time. Gonna run with it. Can't get much. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line. Will bring up 3rd down. Good pursuit that by Aaron Steidle, among others.
It looked to me that Colby wanted the one-on-one deep down the field, but Jalen Allison took that away. He was stride for stride with the deep man, the tight end, about 25 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and then Colby did the right thing by not trying to force it in anywhere else. But good man-to-man defense on the outside by Jalen Allison, number 21.
Trips to the high side here on 3rd and 6. Bison bringing pressure. Colby flushed under pressure, and he's going to have to throw this one away and somehow completes it. What a throw with pressure bearing down, and Christian Gibbs makes the reception for a 1st down to the 49.
Boy, you tip your hat to the quarterback on that. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. Look at the pressure that Colby's under. He still keeps his eyes downfield. He knows he's going down. He gets hit hard, goes to the turf, and now laying from your back, he's happy to see that his man has that football and another 1st down. That was good stuff. That's what Illinois State missed last week in the first part of the game.
Another quick throw by Colby. Again, another catch for Wareham, his 2nd reception of the day inside NDSU territory to the 43.
To follow up on that point, against Indiana State, a game that the Redbirds lost, Colby did not start. He had a banged-up shoulder. It wasn't an injured shoulder, it was a banged-up shoulder. And by the time he came into the game, Redbirds were already down by 10 points, and the hole got a little bit too big. They made it close in the 4th quarter, but couldn't win the game.
2nd and 3, inside handoff. And this is bounced out by Morera, who's got some room to the outside, inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Good hard running there by George Morera, the sophomore out of Gretna, Louisiana.
Well, the key there is Trey Dempsey comes up from his free safety position right here. See, Dempsey tries to square up on him. A little bit of a stiff arm. Morera is able to get his momentum back going up the field, so he made the play right at about the line of scrimmage, and this Redbird offense has looked really good, especially on 1st down.
Morera again, quick hitter, inside the 20, the 15, and down inside the 10-yard line before he is gang tackled by NDSU, and that will set up 1st and goal.
They might have the same names, they might be wearing the same jerseys or the same helmets, but this is not the team that played last week or the week before. This Redbird team has came to play, and everyone that I talked to associated with this Illinois State team said, you'll know early if Illinois State has come to play. Well, I think we know the answer to that one, Brian.
Handoff again. Morera tiptoes his way through the hole down to the 6. Aaron Steidle in on another tackle.
Michael Clements, the tight end, got a beautiful block on Plank. Here, you'll just see him going backwards in there off the left of your screen on the cut up. That's a good job by your tight end on the linebacker. If you win that battle, you're going to gain yards on the ground, because it's Plank's job to make the tackle.
Nice drive here for Illinois State. Colby quickly to the air, and this one into tight coverage and incomplete, looking for his big tight end.
Yeah, Clements.
Petkovic. Oh, excuse me, Clements
yeah,
was
Clements,
in on that.
86. The kid I was just talking about who made the block. So back-to-back plays, trying to get something up over the top on a little bit of fade. But to me, it looked like Colby just threw that one a little bit too much on a line. Didn't give his receiver, or his tight end in this case, an opportunity to get over the top.
North Dakota State defensively has not done a great job in the red zone this year. 9 trips for opposing offenses. They've given up 7 touchdowns. Colby fires on the flat, and on the slant it is incomplete. Receiver did not get his head around quickly enough. That was Christian Gibbs, the intended target, and a field goal attempt coming up for the Redbirds.
Well, Colby stood in as long as he could, and he took a pretty good shot from Tangway. Tangway hits him, knocks him down. The ball was delivered with some zip, but right between the hands. But it looks like the Redbirds will get some points out of this drive, and it was an impressive drive. And you talked about NDSU being defensively in the red zone. Offensively, Illinois State has been pretty good. Out of 14 previous scores, 9 have been touchdowns until this point.
Snap is down, kick is up, and it is booted through by Sean Slattery. And Illinois State has drawn first blood and lead 3-0 here with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Well, you can see, LT, why Colby is completing 71% of his passes, because they get the ball out of his hand in a hurry in this offense.
Well, when you're starting in that shotgun or pistol, whatever you want to call it, formation, it's kind of a 3-step rhythm without the 3-step drop back. And so, yeah, they want him to make his read, make it quick, and you see the arm strength this kid has, and that's one of the reasons that Coach Spack and his coaches really like him, because he can get the ball out of there with some juice on it. But you're right, when you're completing 70%, you're doing something right. This may or may not be true, but if Colby plays the whole game last week, Illinois State probably wins.
Correct. Brock Spack mentioned that his defense was on the field way too long. 49 snaps in the first half alone.
That's crazy.
86 for the game against Indiana State. And he said, we got gassed, flat out.
Well, as long as you brought that up, bring it a little bit further back to the Iowa game and tell them the stat that you found out about that. And remember, Illinois State's defense faced 49 snaps in the first half.
Against Iowa, North Dakota State's defense was on the field for the entire game for 49 snaps. Illinois State's defense saw that in a half.
That's crazy. I think we've seen the start from the team out there in white that Illinois State knew it needed coming into here. They could not be flat.
Another Peterson Farm Seed kickoff. Kick off your planning season with Peterson Farm Seed. Slattery driving Eric Perkins back to his own goal line. Perkins will bring it out. Tiptoeing around a couple of tacklers and out to the 22-yard line as we take a look at the starting lineup for the NDSU defense, brought to you by Shields.
Easton Stick, Omaha, Nebraska.
Owen Connor, Mineral Point, Wisconsin. Zach Johnson, Apple Valley, Minnesota.
Austin Cooner, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Jack Plankers, Leonard, North Dakota.
Landon Leckler, Beach, North Dakota.
Connor Wentz, Nellen, Florida.
Chase Morlock, Moorhead, Minnesota.
B. Frazier, Kansas City, Missouri.
RJ Erzendowski, Omaha, Nebraska.
Darius Shepard, Blue Springs, Missouri.
So the Bison their second offensive possession from the 22. Stick drops, now throws to Frazier out in the flat, and Frazier turns it back inside. Good gain on first down up to the 30. Dragged down by a couple of tacklers, including Alejandro Rivera, outside linebacker for Illinois State, as we take a look at the Shield starting lineup for the Illinois State defense. And we talked about Dalton Keene really being a key up front, but I think they feel really good about their secondary too, LT, especially
the corners.
With Alec Coker and then the two corners.
Yeah, Coker at safety really comes down, plays the run really hard. But both Glass and Harris on the corners, they're kind of hanging those guys out to on a one-on-one situation quite a bit. And so far this year, they've been passing that test, so they like the corners. The Bison think they can get to the safeties in space a little today, though, so watch for that.
Back to Power. Frazier bounces off a tackle before he is gang tackled at the 32. Good enough for a first down.
Well, in the open, we talked a little bit about how Iowa just played what it played, and the Bison were able to pick up on that. Well, nobody else who plays NDSU this year, since they're all conference games, is going to just line up in 4 down and let the Bison pick. They're going to have multiple fronts. They're going to have multiple pressures. That's one of the things that the Bison coaches, Tim Polasek, said, hey, we need to find out how much 5- or 6-man pressure that Illinois State's going to bring. They want to figure that out in the first quarter.
And they got a motion man going. Looks like Ilias, the tight end, jumped early, and that will cost the Bison 5.
False start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Bison kind of stacking their tight ends on the left side of that formation. Jensen was on the line. Ilias was just off of his, would have been left hip.
And one guy we're already seeing on the field that is back really for the first time in a while after a broken foot is Matt McCown, number 99. 6'3 junior, 275. Has a twin brother that plays at Rose-Hulman and another brother that plays at Indiana State.
Yeah, the Redbirds are really happy to have McCown back. 275, junior, Casey, Illinois, right in the middle.
Not much on that carry. Maybe a yard. Lance Dunn, his first carry, had a really nice game at Iowa a couple of weeks ago, just right by his hometown in Waterloo.
We just talked about McCown, and he was the one that kind of blew through the line. He saw himself giving himself the, I guess since it's TV, the aw shucks part of that. He missed the tackle, but he helped make the play with that really good penetration.
So the Bison backed up here, 2nd and 14. Stick will throw it on the run and completes. Ilias makes the reception, close to a first down, about a yard short, up to the 42. Maybe he's got it after the initial spot. I thought he was out of bounds, but I think it's enough for a first down. Gain of 14.
Yeah, your quarterback's ability to run helps make this play so nice because you have to honor Stick. That means bringing somebody up to guard him. Well, the flat was open, the second level was open, and the deep level was covered. So you flood the zone with Stick, let him pick. If there's nobody comes to him, he will run it. He picked the middle guy, first down. Good versatility. But Coach Hedberg just really says he feels good about the way his quarterback is playing right now, and mentally he is up to every challenge he is facing.
Stick is going to keep it this time. Boy, again, you see the importance of Dalton Keene in this defense for Illinois State, right there to make the stop after a short game. Let's take a look at the Bobcat game recap. That drive for Illinois State, 10 plays, 58 yards, just 3.5 minutes. But I think important for NDSU defensively to hold the Redbirds to a field goal there instead of a touchdown.
That's a trade every team will make every time when you have the ball in that position, part of the field.
Back to the power game. King Frazier, pretty good game that time, up to about the 49-yard line. Will bring up 3rd and 4. Alec Coker coming up from his safety spot to make the tackle. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay.
Get bodies on bodies, and Frazier running hard. He ran hard in the Iowa game, and Coach Polasek said he's also the running backs coach, and he was really happy with the way his position group fared in that game. You remember Morlock had a touchdown, pass catch in that thing, so he meaning Coach Polasek was very happy with his running backs in the last victory.
Stick to throw, pressure comes. Stick stays on his feet, keeps the play alive, and then swings it out for a first down. Nice play by Easton Stick as he found Urzendowski at the Illinois State 46.
It's amazing how much you can improvise when you have to. And Stick has to here. In isolation on Urzendowski, he just keeps going. His quarterback is flushed a second time out to his left. And now watch the scramble on the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. Runs out of that first tackle and then knows he has a man beating down on him. Stick goes to the turf and picks up the first down. All quarterback on that one.
Brent Spack almost had him in the backfield, the coach's kid at middle linebacker. Pretty good push up front this time for Dunn. Lunges ahead to the 43-yard line before he's taken down. We'll bring up 2nd and 7.
That appeared to be a zone play, so nobody's pulling. It's not a power or an outside G or anything like that. It's a zone. It's a man-on-man blocking scheme. Coaches, again, want to figure out how Illinois State is approaching when there's a puller. Is somebody going with him? If it's just a straight zone, what are they doing? So right now they're making mental notes. All right, zone looks pretty good. To be honest, it looked like when on first push it'd be more than a 3-yard gain. Same play, other side.
Frazier up to the 39-yard line before he is taken down. Devontae Harris, the corner, coming in to make the tackle for Illinois State, will bring up third down. Alejandro Rivera got in there too.
Yeah, fullback lead, Rivera. When you take care of who's in front of you, and if you can get to that, second level, meaning taking care of at least one of the linebackers, then a defensive back must make the play. Otherwise, it's going to be a big gainer.
We have a stoppage here.
Illinois State, their first of the half.
Illinois State
30 seconds in length.
Takes a timeout. Did not like what they saw this time from the North Dakota State offense. As there's a look at Brent 3 coming up for North Dakota State. They go to the power game. Frazier plunging ahead. I think he's a yard short at the 37, and that will bring up an interesting call here for Chris Kleiman. You'd have to think they'd probably leave the offense on the field here.
Yeah, see how aggressive Coach Kleiman wants to be right off the bat. But I want to mention the guy out there who was in there in a blocking situation. He wears number 98 or 62, depending on what position. But it's Bryce Mesner. They call it the Ogre package when he comes in. I don't know if that means I won't go there. But anyway, he's going to stay on the field. He's coming in at tight end, and he's really done a good job. And Coach Polasek said, yeah, just people move when he's in there. So he's on the left side right now.
So 4th and 1 for North Dakota State. Back to the power game. Frazier works up a nice tackle there from Zach Johnson and picks up a first down to the 31.
Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. Mesner gets into the linebacker, actually spins the guy all the way, or not the linebacker, the defensive end, spins Conley all the way around.
Also got a look there at Garrett Malmstrom, who's a redshirt freshman from Frazee Burgess High School. Walk on.
Mesner and Malmstrom were right next to each other, so those guys did most of the work on that play to help seal the end. Like I said, in fact, they took Adam Conley and spun him all the way around, and he was a guy with his hand on the field.
Shepard gets the call. Shepard in the clear. 10-5, touchdown. Kind of a half-hearted clap there from Zach Fra.
Now watch Shepard on this ISO, the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. Boy, as soon as he makes that cut, bang, he gets past Spack, and off he goes. I mean, that was an easy one right there. You could tell right off the bat, as soon as Shep got that ball, you could tell it was going to be a touchdown.
Peterson on to the extra point. He's able to do that, and North Dakota State has a 7-3 lead on the Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. Back with more from the Fargo Dome after this timeout.
Go ahead.
Cam Peterson on for a Peterson Farm Seed kickoff.
Great block.
Ooh, big hit. Chris Board got in there at the 18. Now the true freshman, James Robinson on the return.
Just when it looked like the alley might be there, Nodak Mutual Insurance replay, Board will come from the bottom of the screen and get past his blocker and take him out. That looked like it had a chance to be big, but the runner couldn't get to the hole in time. Board beat him to the spot, held him to under the 20-yard line.
So Illinois State, an impressive drive last time out, had to settle for a field goal from Sean Slattery. Stick with us, too, for the beginning of the second quarter. Former NDSU cornerback C.J. Smith on the Eagles practice squad, along with Andrew Bonnet, will join us for a couple of series. So thanks to C.J. for coming on with us. Colby back to work. Oh, a whole bunch of guys jumped off sides, and they're going to blow this one dead. 3 different defensive linemen jumped in the neutral zone there for North Dakota State.
Colby did the right thing, too. He saw Menard bearing down on him. He's like, I got to get rid of this thing.
Offside with contact. Defense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Steidel called for the offside neutral zone penalty. He doesn't like it. Doesn't think he touched anybody. So that will move the ball up to the 24-yard line.
Or Aaron might be thinking, hey, there was 2 other guys doing the same thing. Why did you pick me? To call my name out in front of everybody. Penalties, though, an issue the first couple of weeks at Iowa, not an issue.
1 penalty on a personal foul, which was very questionable on MJ Stump on the sideline. Inside handoff, good patience for Herrera. Got a yard up to the 25-yard line. Will bring up 2nd and 4. Aaron Steidel's been very active here.
He was in on that tackle, and then Plank, you see him 44, did what a middle linebacker's supposed to do. Plug that spot up, a gain of maybe a half a yard.
And here comes Dom Davis, the redshirt freshman out of Belleville, Illinois. Cousin to Pierre G. Tucker. Has not seen the field much, but now in this nickel situation with Eric Bachmeier out, he comes in.
Because the Bison want to keep Grimsley on a deep half safety. Grimsley's usually been the nickel guy, but not today.
Pressure coming on Colby, and he is hit from the backside by G. Tucker. Very similar to the play he had 2 weeks ago at Iowa.
That resulted in a touchdown. This results in a big sack on 3rd down.
Boy, Colby lucky to hang on to the football there.
Real lucky. Redbirds, there's a double tackle on a double team on the defensive tackle, and number 76, the left tackle, doesn't recognize that Tucker's coming fast enough.
So a 3rd and long coming up for Illinois State when we come back. That's the end of the first quarter. North Dakota State leading 7-3 on the Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard.
Great, really good. Tailgating for the first time. The fans are really great here, and it's just loud as it's always been, and so it's been great so far.
Wow, and Illinois State converts that 3rd down out of the backfield, completed to Christian Gibbs for a 1st down. And CJ, I know when you and Jordan Champion left, there were some concerns about the corner position. Jalen Allison pretty young, and some of these other guys stepping in. What do you think of their play so far? I know you're watching in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching. These guys are only going to get better. The confidence is going to grow throughout the season, and I think the best is in front of them, and so they're only going to get better.
We'll talk a little bit about the Bison reunion you guys are having on the Eagles roster, because it's just not Carson there, even though he's the one everyone talks about. But there's you got another teammate with you there too. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's great seeing those guys every day. And getting to compete against Carson every day is great. And so just being able to talk to these guys, being familiar with these guys, is a great feeling to have these guys there too.
And your career is kind of mirroring what Marcus Williams did. He was undrafted. He came in, nothing guaranteed, did enough in camp to hang on a practice squad, and now he's had his opportunity. Look what he's doing, 9 career interceptions in 25 games.
Man, he has 2 picks already this year.
He does.
Sheesh. The ball finds him.
In a bunch of the Carson talk, especially leading up to the draft, and now he's having his success, they talk a lot about how NDSU helped prepare him as a pro. That's on the offense. How did NDSU and the coaching you received here and the style of defense that you play, how did that help prepare you to begin your professional career?
The scheme, learning the defense. I think it's pretty tough here to learn the defense. That's why a lot of guys don't play as true freshmen, because you got to learn. And so just learning the defense and learning the game specifically. I had no clue before I got here how to play corner, what defense was about. And then leaving here, gained a lot of information. And so it's easy to translate to the NFL where you have 2 calls going in at once, and depending on the formation, you got to know what to play and what to do. And sometimes your job depends on that. If you mess up the call, then you can get cut. And so just being able to translate that is great.
Was that in terms of learning the defense? I mean, I'm guessing that at that point, then all you had to learn was the terminology. Was that, and a lot of these other guys probably had to learn a whole lot more than that in a short amount of time.
Yeah, the terminology is just the tougher part. Sometimes I get caught saying things that we say here. So yeah, that was probably the toughest part. Learning the defense wasn't too bad.
Do you keep in touch with a lot of the guys here?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a close group of guys.
Review, the ruling
and
on the field stands.
We're always talking
1st down.
Week in and week out.
So they reviewed it, and the call stands, so that will stay a 1st down. Big pickup there on 3rd down for Illinois State there, 3rd and 13.
Second all-time winningest football coach now at Illinois State. Brock Spack. The last guy he passed was the guy who the stadium is named after him.
That's right, Hancock Stadium. So 1st and 10 from the 30. Colby again, a quick drop. Pressure coming across the middle, hung on by Warham, and he bounces off a couple of Bison defenders, and then finally taken down by Robbie Grimsley and MJ Stump. Another first down to the 42.
Warham had a huge game last week. Here you'll see him, number 82, a little square and route here in front of the linebacker, but he had 10 catches, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week.
And against Northwestern, 9 receptions for 116 yards and a touchdown. So an active guy in the passing game. Inside handoff. Running back ran at his own tackler before he is taken down. Matt Plank, Jamal Towns on that carry once again. Bring up 2nd and long.
So, CJ, when you hear of a wide receiver having numbers like that, what do you think as a defensive back?
I get mad. I get mad. Yeah, so just a receiver like that, man, you got to focus. And it's a challenge every week. And so you got to accept the challenge and be ready for it. Because you never want those numbers on you as a D-back.
Colby, play action. Drops it off, and nice job defensively by Trey Dempsey, the junior captain. And you like to see that young man playing well. He's that guy that you really mentored in his first couple of years.
Yeah, Trey's a great player, man.
This is a Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. Take us through it.
Trey, man, he was right there on the ball. And I personally think he could have picked it, but but the PDU is great, so he was there.
So 3rd and long coming up. Bison going back to their nickel with Dom Davis on the field here. Pressure coming on Colby. Step sides. Throwing downfield. Has a receiver. It is caught. Nice adjustment. And once again, it is Warham coming up with the big reception on 3rd down inside the 20 down to the 18.
Nodak Mutual Insurance replay again. Kind of a scramble drill here. What happens? Well, in this case, Warham scrambles deep. And then Grimsley moved to a deep middle safety, which helped open that up a little bit further on the outside as well. But and that kid doesn't need to get open, a lot of space to get open, but when he does, he's going to make the catch.
Colby, again, time to the end zone. Wide open receiver is Fowler. Touchdown, Illinois State.
There's a similar play that happened to me. I remember that play right there, the defense that they were in. It was my sophomore year, Southern Illinois. Just looked just like that.
You know, I remember that. I believe number 21 was the receiver on that for Illinois State.
Well, what's the read? What's Jalen seeing here? He comes up and the ball goes over his head.
They look like they're in cover 2. So that's the soft spot right there in the back of the end zone. And so the safety couldn't get there in time, and the corner is playing short to deep or deep to short. And so it's just a tough call, and then it's just a cover 2 beater. So.
Extra point is added, and good by Slattery, and Illinois State back on top, 10-7, 13:06 to go in the second quarter. Brock Speck's crew responds with a touchdown drive. We'll back with more from the Fargo Dome after this.
After 162 games,
Eric Perkins back deep for North Dakota State.
You know, quarterbacks often get that too much credit, too much blame thing, but I think you can credit that touchdown and those 6 points all to the quarterback on that drive. Colby did a great job.
Another Peterson Farm Seed kickoff. Kick off your planning season with Peterson Farm Seed. And Perkins will run up to take this one at the 6. Perkins has a hole. Can he get outside? Still on his feet. Perkins, look at the footwork. As he lost the football, and I think Andy Issue got back on top of it at the 34. Whoa, that was dangerous. Isaiah Franson got back on top of it, number 81, backup wide receiver.
You're right, Brian, some fancy footwork here. And once you start getting pinballed around a little bit as a returner, you just know that in the general feel of things, I need to head that way and want to keep going upfield no matter whether you're facing it or going backwards, and the Bison lucky to still have the ball at their own 35.
Here's a look at your East and Stick quarterback comparison brought to you by the North Dakota Beef Commission. So far, 3 completions, 27 yards. Been pretty efficient for North Dakota State.
Dual call, probably 2 plays coming out of the huddle. Sticks telling everyone we're going to run instead of the one we had called, we'll run the next one.
Stick to throw on first down. He's going to air it out one-on-one coverage. He's got a receiver, and it's caught! Urzendowski! Touchdown!
Wow, that was a great throw.
Yeah, you're right, CJ. That in a nutshell describes what just happened. Wow, that was a great throw, and it was. He put it right out there. Urzendowski's able to grab it right over his shoulder and continue to go. This is one thing that Stick has really improved a lot on. And look at the space, though, that Urzendowski had. He had a step and a half, 2 steps on that guy. He did a great job to get to the outside and continue upfield. 65
yards on the touchdown from Stick to Urzendowski, and North Dakota State just like that. Back on top, 13-10. Extra point up and banged through by Peterson. And the Creighton Prep connection from Omaha comes up big once again, and North Dakota State leads at 14-10 on the Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. We'll be back with more from the Fargo Dome after this.
Time out on the field.
After 162 games, it comes.
A beautiful tale, a day for tailgating out in Fargo, and this game brought to you in high definition by Fisher Industries. They like the tough jobs. That doesn't look too appetizing, or does it? That's the Redbird that is burnt, apparently.
I was wondering what that was.
They're scorching the Redbird. I think I figured it out.
They cooked that one for that last play specifically because the corner was torched.
CJ Smith, our guest in the booth here, the former NDSU corner, back for homecoming on the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad.
First return for Robinson today.
Not much room, trying to step out of a couple of tackles, but there's the speed, and the true freshman squeaks through a hole. And how about the burst up to the 29-yard line? Looked like he was dead in his tracks 3 or 4 different times.
Out of the 4 guys who have played running back, and he is a true freshman, he's the kid that I think on tape kind of bounces to life a little bit more than anyone else.
Here's a look at your quarterback comparison by the North Dakota Beef Commission. Colby having a really good season so far when he's been in there. 4 interceptions, he's fumbled a couple times, but the completion percentage very good. Pretty good taking care of the football for the most part. By the way, Robinson, the guy that just returned the kick, the all-time leading rusher in Illinois State high school history, over 9,000 career yards in high school at Lutheran. Fowler again. Made the reception. Was he in bounds? No, out of bounds as Robbie Grimsley got over there, and that was similar to the play we saw in the touchdown reception.
Yep. It was cover 2 again. He tried to hit the sweet spot. I think Robbie did a good job getting off the hash and trying to make a play on the ball.
Bradford Eric, our sideline reporter, has a report for us. Bradford?
Was by number 19, Anthony Fowler. He's the one who caught that wide open touchdown pass. After that, the secondary came off the field, and they were yelled at by the coaching staff. Then Coach Kleiman came over, asked them a couple questions. Basically, the message was, do you want to win? And that's unacceptable. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much. And Chris Kleiman himself, a defensive back and a defensive backs coach. So certainly he does not like to see guys get torched deep. There's no question about that. And it's kind of fun to see Brian Shepard, one of your old teammates, down there too as a defensive assistant as well.
Yeah, it's hilarious seeing him out there coaching these guys up.
That's Shep right there with the yellow jacket on.
Yep, can't help but laugh at him.
It's one of those things where I know that the coach comes over to reemphasize the point, but Jalen knows, long before he ever gets back to the sideline, that he goofed, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. You want to try to protect the safety on that play deep to short as a corner, but sometimes the ball's just perfectly thrown in the sweet spot.
Fowler been targeted quite a bit here today. Again, junior, 6'1", 175, just 10 receptions coming into the game today.
But again, Fowler's a kid that has really great speed. He's a straight line, fast guy who is still trying to understand what it takes to become a wide receiver. I mentioned it earlier, but if you weren't with us, he was a track guy in junior college, and they made him, and they're still in the process of making him a wide receiver.
There's Jamar Kane, the defensive ends coach, saying, we're going to play a lot of guys early and hoping we can wear them down, especially in the second half. with the number of different pass rushers they have. And certainly Greg Menard has been the most potent of that group. And Brad Ambrosius also having a very good season so far. He leads the team in sacks with 3.
Well, those two guys, I think the Bison felt that they could get to the quarterback from the edge a little bit better than they have so far. But a lot of that's because I think Colby is getting the ball out of his hands so quick.
After further review, the receiver maintained possession of the ball through the ground, therefore completing the catch. It'll be first down at the 50-yard line. The clock will start on my signal.
I didn't know if he had a foot down before he made the reception.
I didn't think he had a foot in, but apparently I thought his first touch was onto the white. But
so it's a reception for Fowler, and he's having a pretty big day so far. Let's take a look at it, right? Well, maybe that right one got down first.
Right toe is down, yep. That's why they go to the replay.
Good call by the replay officials who we met with earlier today. We had a lot of replays in the first game. Oh, my goodness.
Too many.
4 hours and 6 minutes that game was. Colby back to the air again. Time airing it out. Open receiver. It is caught inside the 10-yard line. And again, it's Fowler.
Well, Fowler gets behind Davis. Davis playing the nickel. Just using that speed we just talked about. And then Dempsey can't get over there over the top enough on the safety because the pass wasn't toward the middle.
Yeah, you got to try to get your hands on these guys. You can't just let them run.
Bison defense will try to stiffen. First handoff of the day for DeMarco Corbin, and he gets nothing. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal. Robbie Grimsley coming up to make the tackle.
Grimsley first one there. Stumped the second guy there. And DSU's been in this position early, and they held the Redbirds to a field goal. Trying to do it again.
Keep an eye on number 82, Anthony Warren, bottom of your screen. They love to target him in these situations. A safety over the top right now. Morera charges ahead to the 5, 3rd and goal.
Plank getting up a little bit slow. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. Boy, with Roberson when he was the quarterback, how many times did you see that zone read, that zone read, that zone read over and over and over again? Here's kind of that similar style of play. The give to the 5.
3rd and goal from the 5. Colby to the air, has to double clutch, under pressure, ball is loose, and NDSU's got it at the 6.
The coverage right there is great. That's
G. Tucker.
Well, talk about it, CJ. Colby, what did he not have that he wanted?
He was looking for his receiver, 82, Warren. I think Jalen, but they're both named Jalen. Jalen was doing a good job. He took away the slant right away. He had to hold the ball, and they got the pressure out there. So it's a great job all around, secondary and D-line.
The last 2 weeks, and probably maybe the major reason that the Redbirds have lost the last 2 games, turnovers.
That has
and
been
another one.
An Achilles heel for Illinois State.
It's absolutely killed them in the losses, as it generally does in football. But Redbirds thinking that they're going to, at worst, make this a 1-point game, and now they give it up.
Bison go to the ground game, pin and pull play. Boy, another nice job defensively by Illinois State. And this time it's Adam Conley coming in to make the stop. Excuse me. That was not 91. That was actually 31 Bryce Holm coming in to make the stop for Illinois State. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay.
Yeah, he and Spack take the reps, most of the reps at Mike. And after going home run last time, the Bison, I think, would love to get a little grinder type of a drive going here.
Holm a little bit bigger, 240 pounds, with Spack, who's pretty undersized for a middle linebacker, just 220 pounds. Shepard in motion. Inside handoff. King Frazier tiptoes through the hole up to the 10 before he is taken down by Devontae Harris. Let's take a look at our Bobcats game recap. 1 play, 65 yards, 10 seconds. Pretty efficient drive. Not going to help the time of possession, LT, but it's an efficient drive.
No, and NDSU is first in the Valley in that again, and 12th in the country right now in time of possession.
Well, Illinois State 183 passing yards already here in the first half. What do you think about that, CJ?
You don't like it at all.
So 3rd and 8. Stick, inside screen to Morlock, who's got all sorts of room in the middle. Chase Morlock, still on his feet, down to the Illinois State 38-yard line. Finally taken down by Devontae Harris after a huge gain of almost 60 yards.
Well, the Redbirds gambled a little bit there. They brought Coker, the strong safety, all the way up into a linebacker position, so your second level was already one person short, and when Morlock was able to bust through, there's one less guy to tackle him.
So some explosive plays from the NDSU offense here early, and Stick wants another one. He's got a wide open Lance Dunn! Touchdown!
Running backs dream. ISO'd on the middle linebacker with the pass called deep over the middle. Dunn will run right, run past back every play of the day in this situation.
Tim Polasek, offensive coordinator, said we like our opportunities in pass coverage one-on-one with Brent Spack, and you saw it right there. Boy, CJ Smith comes up to the booth, and we have all sorts of plays on the field.
A lot of them. It's great to see it from here.
Extra point booted through by Cam Peterson. North Dakota State takes advantage of the turnover and quickly responds and marches down the Eagles. And this kick is angled towards Robinson at the 14. Robinson cuts it back across the grain. How about the explosiveness of the freshman? All the way out to the 34-yard line. Another nice return on the special teams unit there, kickoff return unit for Illinois State.
And just body type, that type of thing that usually happens in your first year of college. You just look at Robinson already and you go, look how big that kid is now.
Yeah.
I mean, and he probably hasn't been living in the weight room as much as he will.
It's like a David Johnson body type. He came in ready.
Yeah. And, of course, he's wearing Marshawn Copperidge's number.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying. Trey Dempsey came over to call a timeout real quick. The Bison defense in a little bit of confusion there, and NDSU wanted to try to get that taken care of. We'll take a look at our trivia question for today, brought to you by the North Dakota Corn Growers. What color is the hose at the fuel station when purchasing a higher blend of ethanol? Black, red, green, or yellow?
You're on the spot, CJ.
Yeah. You've been in North Dakota a few years.
I got to go with the green.
All right, that's what we're going to go with. We'll have your answer here coming up. North Dakota Corn Growers Association, proud sponsor of our trivia here, and the KVOI KFYR Bison Network.
I suppose after playing so well for NDSU and now playing professionally for the Eagles, you're just going to say green no matter what the color choice is, right?
Yeah, it was almost automatic. I didn't even think about it. Just green.
So Illinois State will try to answer here. 8.5 to go in the second quarter. Colby, another quick drop out of the shotgun. Pressure coming. Now drops it off to his tight end, and that is caught. Pickup of 5 yards. Nice catch there by Petkovic. Just his third reception of the season.
Covered pretty well, both on the outside. This was a drag. I think he first looks at him more right about where Plank is now, and then the drag just continues when he moves off to his right. The route continues.
Quick throw in the flat.
Yep. Good play by Jalen.
Yeah, Jalen Wimbush came in to work off his block, and that will bring up 3rd and 2. You know, Wimbush, a guy that they moved around to safety, then to corner, and came in at only 160 pounds. He's bulked up a little bit, really come a long way.
Yeah, it was surprising. He came in only at 160, and he gained weight quick. And I think he's a player that's going to get better throughout the year. Didn't play corner, so he's going to get more and more confident as the year goes on.
Leads the team in pass breakups with 4, a sophomore from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Nickel again on 3rd and 1.
Colby to throw. Drop. Off the mark. Incomplete. Will bring up 4th down. The intended target was Christian Gibbs. Let's take a look at our answer to our North Dakota Corn Growers Association trivia question. Let's take you quickly to remind you what the question was. What color is the hose at the fuel station when purchasing a higher blend of ethanol? CJ says green.
Oh, man.
And he is 0
you
for 1.
You guys knew I got that one wrong.
The answer is yellow.
Green, yeah, see? Green or yellow, one of the two. It had to be. It's only right.
Kind of a rugby-style punt. Eric Perkins will run away from it. Will bounce back to the 17-yard line where it is first touched by the backup defensive end for Illinois State's Brandon Berry. And North Dakota State with an 11-point lead will have the football back. Well, CJ, we know you got things to do and people to see. We appreciate the time you've taken with us. Enjoy your time in Fargo. It's great to see you again, and best wishes to you in the future. We'll be watching from out here. We put all the Eagles games on TV out here now.
Oh, yeah, that's a good deal right there. Got to enjoy it.
Absolutely. Best wishes to you. Thanks again,
Thank you
CJ.
very much.
Take care of yourself.
CJ. Have a good day.
Guys. Yes, sir.
There's a Philadelphia Eagles helmet. I can't tell you how many Eagles fans we have in Fargo now. Really good to see C.J. Smith again. One of our favorite guys we've had around here. Had a pleasure covering him for several years. His only Division I offer was North Dakota State. Now he's in the NFL. Unbelievable. Quarterback draw here for Stick. Had a couple of pullers. Pushes the pile ahead to the 20-yard line. Good enough for a gain of 4. Gang tackled there. Alejandro Rivera in on that tackle, along with Coker. Really good to see CJ again.
I'm happy for him.
Really?
I mean, well, you know, just to get that chance. I mean, we know he's not active yet, but to be able to go to practice with an NFL team every day, that's way better than the real world, isn't it?
Oh, boy. Nothing wrong with that. Off inside again. It's done. Close to a first down, and I think he has it up to the 26. See Keene come all the way back to make the tackle again after he was bottled up initially.
That's number 98 who you're talking about, just playing off his block as best he can. Flo takes him into the play, but again, did you see how quick and explosive Dunn was? As soon as he got the handoff, it's boom, the hole is there, let's hit it. Designed to do what it did, pick up the first down. If you can pop it, great, but the first down is what was required.
King Frazier now in the backfield. He'll go to King on power, and he pushes the pile ahead and eventually taken down after a gain of close to 5. And the surge from North Dakota State's offensive line is really showing here in the second quarter.
And generally, the second half is when we've seen that really come into play. But you also saw Connor Wentz come in, kind of make it a power eye situation in the back to get that extra blocker in that fullback position. I know he's listed as a tight end, but fullback duty's done a lot in this offense by tight ends.
Our game continues. Again, it's Frazier. Near the first down, he might be a couple of inches short. We'll bring up 3rd and short.
You know, there's stats for just about everything, but a stat that offensive coaches really look at a lot, and one that Coach Polasek preaches all the time, is first down efficiency. Only once so far this year have the Bison reached their goal. That was against Iowa at 48%. And what sets that play up? First down. If you're getting 5 yards on first down, and that's a play caller's dream when you're able to produce like that on first down.
Stick to Frazier, and he twists and turns, and I don't know. Right now, looking at the spot, I don't think he got it.
And the corner blitz, you have to kind of give credit for. It's Devontae Harris comes down. He's number 10 from the high side.
It's going to be close, LT. Maybe by the nose of the football, but it's going to be very close.
There you come. Harris is coming on the play. Getting to Frazier before Frazier can get to the first down marker.
Frazier still up there. Ooh. I have to take a look at that spot. if they are short.
Not short.
He's got it. By a 3/4 length of the football. And NDSU keeps the chains moving. They are now 3 of 5 on 3rd down today. NDSU content to try to grind out the clock here and get into halftime with another score.
Often in this game, that's the points you don't get that you chase the rest of the game, and
Timeout.
maybe one of the bigger
Illinois
reasons
State.
why you don't
Their
win.
second of the half.
And I tell you,
Which will be 30 seconds in length.
Illinois State is really going to miss the points they did not get on that fumble inside the 10. Because the Redbirds are thinking, we're going to score a touchdown, we're going to take the lead. No, you're behind by 10 now, or by 11 now, instead of taking the lead. That's a huge
Previous play
swing.
is under further review.
And this is the situation Illinois State has found themselves in the last 2 weeks, both at Indiana State and against Eastern Illinois. They were down big at halftime, and they rallied back to make them both very close football games. But at the end of the day, Brock Speck said we can't expect to come back from down 2 scores every game to win, and that's what his team has tried to do, and they've come up short.
Reviewing this play, Nodak Mutual Insurance replay, reviewing the spot. We'll see. Well, he runs into Kunert, but the thing there is that I think Frazier, when he rolls over the top, he probably gets the extra yard that he needs because the knee wasn't down.
Nope. And there's a look at the replay official. You had a chance to meet with him before the game today.
Another thing I thought this week that Coach Speck talked a little bit about, and he said no one wants to hear it, but we have a lot of inexperience in a lot of spots. I know that the entire offensive line is back, and that was one of the things that the Redbirds are really hanging their hat on heading into the season, but there's only one way to get past that inexperience thing.
Gotta play.
That's to make mistakes and then don't make them again.
It's been actually...
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down for North Dakota State. Illinois State is still charged with their second timeout. They have 1 remaining.
It's interesting with Brock Speck this week. The noise, we've been in loud places. He didn't want to make it an excuse. I know the fans around here probably took that a different way, saying, it says it's not loud in the Fargo Dome. He said it is loud in the Fargo Dome. But, I've played in Big Ten stadiums that are loud. And he goes, we've cranked in the music. And I said, hey, Darius Rucker on Pandora and some of that classic rock, when you hear that stuff that's blared through the stadium, he goes, that's me. That's mine. I pick that music. Got a kick out of that.
That is not what they would have heard had the players been able to pick the music.
I can tell you that. So the Bias offense converts on 3rd down, stays on the field. 4.5 to go here in the first half. Boy, and they're just continuing to run the power game here, and Frazier up to the 39-yard line, gains 2.
Well, you see the Bison pre-snap move a tight end a lot. They'll change shift trade motion, really what the coach would call it. In this place, Jensen went from the left side of the formation to the right side. But when he moves, the defensive line moves maybe a half a body width over. That's what the coaches are trying to get. Maybe improve an angle, just a little bit of a difference on the angle in which you try to attack your blocker might make a 2-yard gain into a 10 or maybe a big popper.
Power again. Dunn tiptoes through the hole, and this time the Redbirds stack him up. 3 or 4 different defenders there for Illinois State. Led on the play there by B.J. Bello, the transfer from Illinois. Will bring up 3rd and 4.
Bellows, number 5. You see him run right past Holmes.
Bradford Eric on the sidelines has a report. Bradford.
Hey guys, it's because we've got a bad ankle. Team Doc confirmed treatment a couple minutes ago.
Jeff Ilias on that reception, I think came up about a yard short of a first down to the 46-yard line.
But
and that will bring up a punting situation.
Yeah, not for lack of effort, because it was Ilias against 3 guys out there in white jerseys, and he kept trying and pushing and trying. Just a little bit short.
The offense was hoping the coaching staff would decide to stay on the field here, but I think with an 11-point lead and 2.5 minutes left to go, Chris Kleiman playing it safe. There's a look at Jeff Ilias, the Lidgerwood, North Dakota product.
Now, I'd have been shocked if Coach Kleiman goes for it in this situation, especially, as you mentioned, given the time and field position battle here.
Jackson Kuntz on for his second punt of the day.
Check.
And there is
checking the mic.
Spencer Schnell making the fair catch at the 20-yard line. That's where Illinois State will have it. Let's try it with Bradford Eric here once again.
Hey guys, down here on the sideline, if you haven't seen much of Bruce Anderson this half of the game, it's because he's got a bad ankle. The team doc confirmed it to me just a couple minutes ago. He hurt it against Iowa in their last game. Nothing new, but that's why Lance Dunn and King Frazier are getting the lion's share of the carries here this afternoon. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Bradford. And what a luxury that you can shelve a guy like Bruce Anderson and have two other guys that can carry the load.
And another reason you saw Perkins on the kickoffs, too.
Right.
Back there deep.
So Illinois State down 11, has 2:12 to work with and one timeout. Colby to the air, fires, tipped off the hands of Warman and incomplete. Will bring up second down.
Even though the Redbirds have had some success outside, the Bison are not messing around in terms of letting the receivers get free releases. Both Jalen's on that particular instance were in press coverage.
Back to nickel as Dom Davis comes on the field.
Nickel slides, or Davis slides into the nickel spot. Grimsley deep middle safety.
And Colby's pass is batted up there by Brad Ambrosius. Incomplete, third down coming up. Ambrosius having a very productive senior season.
Colby's 6'3", almost 6'4". Kind of hard to knock the pass down from those guys. Creates some space and shows some athleticism. Ambrosius, nice play.
So a big third down here for Illinois State. They have not taken much time off the clock here. Just 8 seconds since taking over possession. Colby fires in the flat. Schnell needs the getaways for a first down, and he is gang tackled by North Dakota State. Good job hanging on there by Dom Davis, and that will bring up a punting situation.
You know, Colby does the play fake and does what he's supposed to because that's the way the play is designed, but there's no way the Bison are thinking they're handing this thing off on a 3rd and 10 situation, so they don't even worry about that to slow anybody down or to take a linebacker off a drop. There's the play fake. Then you just have to make sure you make the tackle.
Good job by MJ Stump coming over to help as well.
Bison got 2 timeouts left to play with, too.
Kind of a wobbler. Perkins is going to have room to return it from the 37. Perkins to midfield and across midfield. Finally stood up at the 48 and pushed back, but NDSU pretty good field position here with 1:11 to go.
His first change of direction was what got him the extra 10 yards. Real nice move there by Perkins after making the catch. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. You see him coming to the near side, boom, that's what I'm talking about. He's changing directions back up the middle of the field. 2 hands around the football when you get to the scrum.
Perkins actually in the offseason in the summer worked a lot with Christian Dudzik and Cole Jurek at Dynasty Performance. The 2 former Bison players opened up a performance center for high school players, and Perkins spent the summer working there. Said he really enjoyed that experience, and certainly having guys like Christian and Cole around to learn from helped.
And Perkins coming on here in a 4-wide situation. That's one thing that Coach Hedberg said, that Perkins would probably get more reps today. And by doing this, you get Urzendowski on a 1-on-1 on the high side with no safety on the top.
Morlock is the single setback there here on first down.
Another receiving threat, Morlock.
At the 52-yard reception earlier off the screen. They're going to hand it off to Chase, who's got room. Morlock! Ooh, he almost broke it to the outside. Still picked up 8 to the 42.
Coker came down hard from his deep safety position. Number 2, you'll see him flying in here. Morlock's thinking he's going to get more than the 8 yards he got. Nice job by the safety.
45 seconds to go here until half. Stick will throw this time as time fires. It is incomplete. Good coverage on the player there by Mitchell Breeze, the starting safety. The intended target was Perkins.
Well, the Bison felt that in the passing game they had an opportunity in some space to try to pick on the safeties a little bit. This is where the pass goes. And Breeze was there, I guess, just as the football arrived.
So 3rd down now for North Dakota State. 3rd and 2. Dimitri Williams on the field at receiver. Had a great game blocking downfield. Tim Polasek really mentioned the importance of what he did away from the football last week against Iowa. Stick is going to keep it. And Stick has a 1st down inside the 35-yard line. The clock will stop with 35 seconds left as they reset the chain.
Yeah, you need the 1st down, but you still have the 2 timeouts to play with, and the Bison are going to use one of them here just to talk the situation over.
Timeout, North Dakota State, their 2nd of the half, which will be 30 seconds in length.
Cam Peterson's long this year is 52 yards, and he did that by bouncing it off the cross.
Bring it every week.
Where they bring it on the road, too. There's 10,000 people down in Iowa for that game. Illinois State showing some pressure here. Now Rivera backs out of it. Stick has time. Wide open receiver downfield is open. Touchdown, Nate Jensen. "35 yards on the connection from Stick to Jensen." That is the first career touchdown for Jensen from Wapaka, Wisconsin.
The key to the whole thing is Plankers picking up the secondary blitzer. They showed pressure on one side, came from the backside. The safety leaves Jensen wide open, deep. I like that. I think there's some pretty good work done by the quarterback's eyes on that play to influence what the safety did.
Aid Kilpatrick, a backup corner, was seen trailing on the play there, and wide open receiver, easy completion for Stick, keeping his eyes downfield, and that swells the lead now to 28-10. Things have really gotten out of hand, and it all started with the red zone turnover in the 2nd quarter.
Here it is again on the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. See, Plankers pick up home. That's the key on the blitz. So you got 5-on-5 blocking. And then Jensen gets behind everyone. That's a no-no if you're a DB. And that's a touchdown if you're 85.
Same hometown as Brock Jensen, Wapaka, Wisconsin, the all-time winningest quarterback in the FCS. This game brought to you in crystal clear high definition by Fisher Industries. They like the tough jobs.
Well, let's talk about Jensen a little bit, Brian, because I guess the Bison knew what they had in Ilias. And Jeff has developed into a much better blocker. What they didn't know was where maybe that 3rd person was going to be on the tight end position. You had Connor Wentz and you had Ilias. Well, Jensen has just played so well that you can't bring him off the field much. He's been on the field a lot. I know he catches the highlight play here, but he's been on the field for a lot of snaps in this first half, and that's not a coincidence.
And there's a young man that once he gets healthy, and it's been slow starting, is Ben Ellefson, the redshirt freshman out of nearby Hawley, Minnesota. They got pretty good depth at tight end. This kickoff brought to you by Peterson Farm Seed. Kick off your planting season with Peterson Farm Seed. And again, Peterson angles this one towards the quarter, and again it's Robinson using a blocker and finally taken down. Good pursuit that time by Jalen Allison along with Levi Jordan. It was Winbush.
Yeah, Winbush has to make sure that he sets that edge. He did it on the last kickoff, and he does it here, this time in on the tackle, but it is his job to make sure the running back does not, or the kick returner does not get outside of him.
Levi Jordan, good to see him back playing here once again for North Dakota State. Had his season end really short because of a knee problem, was kind of slow starting a little bit this year, and getting an opportunity there on special teams makes a play. 20 seconds to go here until the half. We'll see how aggressive Illinois State gets with one timeout.
Not.
Hand off to Morera, changes directions, takes it down by MJ Stumpf after a gain of 5.
Bison were a nickel again, but this time it was G. Tucker playing that nickel position.
And that will do it for the first half. North Dakota State explodes, trailing 10-7 this quarter. They rally back.
By Aaron Steidel that we're talking about.
And ESU 274 total yards in that first half. Dimitri Williams in motion. And Stick will throw it. Or maybe run it. And nice pursuit on the backside by Jason Harris for no gain. Bring up 2nd and 10. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay.
Stick trying to get the corner. The defensive ends are known, obviously, for their speed for Illinois State, and Harris does do a good job of running them down. But, boy, is this an important possession defensively for Illinois State. If the Redbirds can't get off the field right now, they're in big trouble for the rest of the game.
Motion man give to Urzendowski. Another nice job by the Illinois State defense. Or excuse me, Morlock on the carry.
No, I think you're right.
Or was it Urzendowski?
Yeah, Chase is blocking and Urzendowski's running.
Run out of bounds by a couple of Redbirds for a gain of 2. Bring up 3rd and 7. Bradford Eric on the sidelines for us has a report on Illinois State from head coach Brock Spack.
That's right, guys. I just heard from head coach Brock Spack. He said we can't make mistakes. He specifically pointed to that fumble down inside the red zone and the 2 huge touchdown plays that came after that. He says he still thinks that his team can win this game. Now, whether or not his players believe that they can win the game, that's an entirely different story. But bottom line, he said they have to cut out the mistakes. Back to you guys.
Bradford, thanks. And yeah, too many of them. The big one, the glaring one we talked about at LT was that red zone turnover. That just seemed to stem the tide and really turn it in North Dakota State's favor. And they jumped out to a huge lead after that.
Well, Coach Spack's defense just did what it needed to do, get the ball back for the offense.
3 and out there on the incompletion from Easton Stick. Just his 2nd incompletion today. As Jackson Kuntz comes back on, and Kuntz, a wobbler.
Kind of a shank.
Not a very good punt.
And a short field, so Illinois State gets the ball in very good field position.
Just a 35-yard punt for Jackson Kuntz. Excuse me, 31-yard punt for Jackson Kuntz.
Well, as big a deal as I thought the first defensive possession was for Illinois State, I think you say the same thing about the first offensive possession for Illinois State.
A pretty good field position. I'll open up here on your own 44. And really, Colby, outside of that turnover, a pretty solid first half. 12-17 for 192 yards and a touchdown. Here, Chris Clemency coming off the field. We have to play a lot better defensively. Total yardage for Illinois State, 227 in that first half. Colby to throw. Swings it out. Open receiver is Spencer Schnell, and he is taken down by Wimbush and G. Tucker after a gain of 8 inside Bison territory to the 48.
Balanced formation, meaning 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. The field side was the wide side as Colby had the pick. The Bison were given the underneath. He had to take it.
Here is the quarterback comparison brought to you by the North Dakota Beef Commission. Again, the completion percentage good again, and the passing yardage also strong for Colby. Menard coming in, and Colby, incomplete pass.
I think you got to throw a flag on that. There's nobody there.
And Colby was not out of the pocket and did not get it back to the line of scrimmage, so that will be intentional grounding. Likely called here on number 16 in white.
Intentional grounding, offense number 16. Penalty has lost it down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
I mean, as much as Dan Pollock likes to play football, I don't think he wants to try to be in a pass pattern. That's number 76, and he was the closest one to the ball. I'm not saying it was a bad choice, maybe on Colby's part, because when Menard's breathing down your neck that hard, you got to do something. Self-preservation is what comes to mind, and that's what he did on that play. 3rd and long.
3rd and 12. Illinois State 3 of 7 on 3rd down, and pressure coming again. Colby eludes, and now he's taken down. Back at the 35-yard line. Caleb Butler coming in for his first sack of the season.
Well, Menard with another
good push up front as King Frazier rumbles for close to 7.
Connor Wentz got a beauty of a block in there too. He motioned back into that power set. The play was off to where Wentz, the blocker, number 87, We don't see him. He flattens a guy. He's got him on the ground, and whenever you're blocking and you can get somebody all the way to the turf, that's a good one. But yeah, Connor Wentz with a nice block and a beautiful first down pickup.
Shane Glass in on that tackle, the corner for Illinois State. Connor Wentz in motion. Frazier again. Fights ahead.
Give him a yard less than I thought he got.
Yeah, I thought he got up to the 39, and they're saying the 38.
So that knee must have came down a little bit early, which we didn't see.
Rodak Mutual Insurance replay. See McCown and Rivera getting in there to make the stop.
Yeah, Rivera does a nice job jumping into, anticipating where the ball's going, jumping in there and getting a second hat.
So 3rd and 2. Power again. Dunn needed to get to the 40, and he got across the 40 to the 41. Stacked up by Dalton Keene.
But you know the Bison are in a position now where they just like to do to Illinois State what they did to Iowa in that second half and just grind them down. And here's Dunn picking up the first down on the Rodak Mutual Insurance replay. But it has to be just a smidgen tempting when you see man-to-man coverage on the field with no safety help, and as a quarterback you just look over there and go, I can't call this, but man, I'd love to just let my receiver go one-on-one, beat him, and go big.
Dunn again scoots through a hole. Postal Redbirds turning back after a gain of 3. Coker back in on another tackle.
Coker's number 2. Strong safety, and you have to play big against these running backs. That was a good job. First point of contact was right where the ball ended up.
Frazier 12 carries, 46 yards so far today. Lance Dunn has also had a good day on the ground so far. Frazier grabbed by the arm, kind of swung around a little bit, gained about 3 yards to the 47.
That's because Mitchell Breeze knows that his team defensively needs to maybe help spark his team that's on the sideline watching, and he's trying to rip that ball out of there, going for it. Watch number 9. He comes in, he's point of contact, and he's going for the ball, going for that ball, trying to get the dig.
There's a look at Breeze. Older brother actually played at Minnesota Duluth. Third and 4 here for Stick. Quick drop, fires in the flat, incomplete. Shane Glass in on the coverage that time for Illinois State. Erzendowski the intended target. So North Dakota State, another punting situation.
Erzendowski trying to set up right at where the first down yardage was, but the pass was a little bit to the wide side. It's probably one of those things where receiver reads where his best option is and quarterback throws to where he thinks his best option is. And on that play, as we know, not on the same page.
Jackson Kuntz back out for another punt. Transfer from SMU. This one much better than his first punt. Schnell will call for the fair catch at the 12, and that's where Illinois State will have it, backed up inside their own territory, trailing by 18 with 8:47 to go in the third quarter. Back in a moment to the Fargo Dome.
Time out on the field.
We're going to Bison 41. Inside handoff, and this time the Bison got him. Gang tackled at the 40 for a gain of 1.
Grimsley first one there.
Yeah, Towns on the carry that time for Illinois State. Towns, the senior from Harvey, Illinois, just 175 pounds, more of a scat back, and now they go back to the true freshman once again. Robinson checking in.
I mean, Illinois State's not a rushing team, but their average for those guys per carry coming into this game has been pretty good.
Very good.
Corner blitz.
Here comes Wimbush, and nice open field tackle that time by G. Tucker. Coming in to take down the true freshman Robinson. Loss of 6.
Jalen Allison comes. You'll see him come on the bottom of your screen. Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. Colby has to get rid of it because the corner's coming down, and that is a tremendous job in the open field by Pierre G. Tucker. See all the space around and behind Tucker. If he doesn't make that, that's close to another first down if he does not make that tackle.
Bison rush 4. Colby stepping up across the middle. Open receiver is Schnell and just overshot him. He was open, incomplete.
I tell you, the targeting rule just saved Schnell from being blasted big time because Grimsley had him lined up, and as soon as Robbie saw the pass was going to be incomplete, he backed away and avoided what was going to be a huge collision. Grimsley comes over, backs away. Schnell can play another play because if that ball's a little bit lower, he's getting lit up.
Reese Addard. Another end-over-end punt, and Perkins will call for the fair catch at his own 11-yard line. 6:16 to go here in the third quarter. Neither offense has been able to do a whole lot. That drive at least flipped the field there for Illinois State.
Yeah, both teams playing the field position game, and that's something the Bison will gladly do. Why? Because of what you see in the upper left corner of your screen.
Let's take a look at our trivia question brought to you by the North Dakota Corn Growers Association. U.S. farmers grow what percentage more soybeans than they did 30 years ago on over 1/3 less land? So that must be our North Dakota Soybean Council trivia question.
Okay.
So this trivia question brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Council. I have the answer coming up. Back to the ground game. Frazier keeping the legs moving. Pretty good gain on first down up to the 18-yard line for 5 yards.
You kind of saw it click, I think, last year for King Frazier when this happened. Watch where point of first contact is. Right at about the line of scrimmage. He just keeps muscling forward, finding space, getting whatever he can. And when Frazier is doing that, coaches are loving what he's doing. Because there was a point early in the year last year where he did not run physical at times.
Coker on another tackle as safety for Illinois State. Play action there for Stick. Open receiver. Darius Shepard has a first down up to the 30-yard line. Shepard had a touchdown run earlier in the game.
Look at the slot and the isolation. Nodak Mutual Insurance, a little square out. Breeze can't get there. Too much ground for him to cover, especially since the play action was to the short side of the field. That's really a lot of space for a safety to try to cover. He can't do it. Easy pitch and catch to Shepard. He turns it up. Relatively easy first down.
Chase Morlock now in at tailback. Quick drop and throw to Shepard. Got a pretty good block on the outside from Urzendowski, and that's good enough for 5 yards. Coker in again on another tackle, along with Drashane Glass. Boy, Coker's had to cover a lot of ground all over the secondary today, LT. He's done a pretty good job back there.
Yeah, there's number 2 coming in to help finish the tackle. Urzendowski trying to make the block, but playing off that block and doing a pretty good job of it was Glass, as you mentioned, Brian. That 5-yard pickup on first down. Playbook wide open.
Outside handoff to Dunn, trying to work off a block. Cuts it back up inside of the 40, enough for a first down. Again on the tackle there for Illinois State, Bryce Holm.
Again, you have to like the physical finish of the Bison running backs today.
Here's the answer to your North Dakota Soybean Council trivia question. U.S. farmers grow what percentage more soybeans than they did 30 years ago on over 1/3 less land? 55%. That's what you guessed, right, LT?
That sounded like too much math to me.
Ben Ellefson in motion at tight end there for North Dakota State. Dunn again. Good hold to the outside as a lead block. And Dunn scoots ahead inside Illinois State territory all the way to the 44.
Yeah, the lead blocker who was way out there in space was Malmstrom. We figured he would get some reps at fullback today, and he did. That's number 39 we're talking about.
Good block by Zach Johnson there as well on the middle linebacker home. Breeze is the one that pushes Dunn out after the big gain. 16 yards.
Nice to see the Bison getting some reps in there in the game situation for guys like Malmstrom. And, we're deep into the tight end rotation. You see Mesner is in there, number 98 right now. So it is ground game and grind mode right now for NDSU.
Malmstrom, a big boy, 250 pounds. Open receiver is Carson Wentz. I knew I was going to do that at least once.
Brian.
I just saw Carson over in the booth next to us. Connor makes the catch at the 32, good enough for another first down.
Now Connor would love for us to say that Carson is his cousin, not the other way around. Well, there was two options on this play. You see the one in the flat to Wentz who gets the catch, but there was a one-on-one with Dimitri Williams on the outside too, and that play was covered fairly well.
Breeze makes the tackle for Illinois State, and those safeties keeping busy back there for the Redbirds.
The Bison would like to get Williams into the action too a little bit today.
Frazier taken down by his own guy. Really good push at the line of scrimmage. And this one, a little bit extracurricular, but it was Nathan Elo, the 300-pound sophomore, that got the good push inside.
And here's where the Bison would like to reward Williams a little bit for his work in the last game. His blocking downfield, Coach Polasek said, he said it was the best 15 reps that he's ever seen at NDSU in blocking on the second level. He said it simply cannot be any better than what number 4 did against Iowa. So, if possible, they would like to try and reward that young man today with maybe a catch or a jet sweep or something.
Stick will go to the air here and throw it in the flat. Perkins makes the reception up to the 34-yard line. That gets about 7 yards to the 29. And Bryce Holman another tackle.
Well, the Bison have been running. We saw those tight kind of groupings, position groupings with 2 or 3 tight ends out there and a new fullback. They get down to about the 40, a little bit of an adjustment made by the Redbirds against that run, and so the Bison spread it out and start pitching it around a little bit. So that's that chess match, offensive coordinator against defensive coordinator.
And North Dakota State has really taken a lot of time off the clock as they methodically move it downfield. 3rd and 7 coming up here. Pressure coming on Stick. Inside screen, he got rid of it. Good pursuit angle to the ball by Dalton Keene. He was not fooled. King Frazier with the reception. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
And if Keene doesn't make that tackle, it's probably a first down. But it was another gamble type of a defense because Coker was coming on a safety blitz from the field side and a little bit of a spy technique there from Keene. And Keene did a really good job of playing off that and making the Bison attempt a long field goal.
So this will be a 47-yard attempt for Cam Peterson. Low snap. Davis gets it down. It is on the way, and it is good.
Nice job, Cole Davis.
Cole Davis got it down after a low snap, and Peterson bangs it through from 47. And the Bison extend their lead to 21. 31-10 your score on the Egg Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard with 39 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
After 162 games, it comes down to this.
Back at the Fargo Dome, 31-10 North Dakota State. Cam Peterson connects from 47 yards out. And NDSU really milking the clock there, almost taking down the entire third quarter.
And then adding points to that. The clock was the big thing, but when you can add points to that, Illinois State, unless it does something special here in the last 39 seconds, going scoreless in the third quarter, that could not happen, I think, if Illinois State had hopes of trying to win this game.
Robinson from his own 3. Had to put on the brakes, and not this time. Nice open field tackle by number 38 for North Dakota State, Jackson Brown, the backup safety. Brown, an Eau Claire, Wisconsin native, redshirt freshman. Here's a look at Colby.
And unfortunately for Colby, when he was knocked down, as we see the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay, and the defense again here by Brown. Went to Regis High School in Eau Claire. having to battle that shoulder issue again. This is the third week in a row that's been an issue for him. Third game, I should say.
Colby flushed again, and down he goes, back at the 2-yard line.
Tuska.
And that's Tuska getting in there for the sack.
Jared Tuska.
Yeah, there's Derek and Jared, the two brothers from Warner, South Dakota, and Jared tracking down Colby.
Well, I think the thing he does there really well is he doesn't let the offensive lineman engage or kind of get his arms trapped inside. He kept his arms extended, kept his space, and when it came time to make a play, he made it fast. Really like what the Bison can do defensively on the defensive ends. I mean, the rotation.
That's the end of the third quarter.
He's right.
So that will do it for the third quarter. And it is the fourth quarter, which means hold up your 4 because it's the 4 for 4 from PetroServe USA. You can get 2 cookies, pizza, and a drink for $4 every day at all 24 PetroServe USA locations across the region. Stay tuned. We'll have the fourth quarter coming up from the Fargo Dome after this.
After 162 games.
North Dakota State has built a 21-point lead here at home going into the fourth quarter, really controlling the line of scrimmage, and now over 400 yards of total offense.
And that Bison defensive line is in attack mode on the quarterback. They have been in this second half.
Colby from his own end zone fires on the slant and complete to Spencer Schnell. Gains a little bit back, not much, maybe 3. Will bring up 3rd and long. And Illinois State has to get to the NDSU 26 here for a first down.
Stanley Jones providing some pressure on the high side. Stanley Jones' story on Stanley Jones and his Bismarck family will be a part of the Bison football show tomorrow morning with Chris Kleiman.
Colby stepping up, fires.
Short.
Fowler makes the catch, but well short of a first down at the 14-yard line.
Sorry, I just looked up and I saw, well, I thought the marker was the first down marker even after you just told me they needed to get to the 26. I just glanced and went, nope, he's short. Well, yes, he's short of the mark, which was 10 yards from what he needed to get.
Well, Fowler has been a bright spot today. Now 5 receptions, 98 yards, including the touchdown for Illinois State. Man, this young man that really did not see a lot of throws, just 10 receptions through the first 4 games. End-over-end kick. Fair catch back at the 41-yard line. Darius Shepard back this time for NDSU deep, and that's where the Bison will take over.
As Colby talks upstairs to his offensive coordinator, a name that has been absent since probably, the first quarter? Warham.
I have not heard much from Anthony Warham.
Yeah, so after Warham made his presence known early, and then, I suppose into the second quarter he was still making some grabs too, but hasn't been heard from much since then.
Illinois State really started off running the football effectively, and they've really kind of abandoned that now. Just 31 total yards, and of course Colby minus 44. He's been hit quite a bit.
The Bison offense has churned out 2 really good back-to-back quarters in terms of yards. 237 in the second quarter, 167 in the third quarter. That's tremendous production.
Double tight here with Wentz and Ilias both on the near side. And there is the give to Dimitri Williams. And Williams around the outside, cuts it up. Nice job by Rivera. And then Brent Spack comes over to help out. And here comes a flag late after a 3-yard gain.
And we talked about why Dimitri Williams is going to get the football in some way, shape, or form today. Again, it goes back to your blocking. And, I know everyone loves the long pass plays and the touchdowns and everything, but if you're doing the blocking, you're going to get rewarded.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 99, 15-yard penalty, first down.
There he comes in late, real late. That's McCown.
Yeah, that was what they called the flag for. That's a pretty good call. Bobcat game recap. Looking for North Dakota State on that drive. And again, it ends with a field goal, but they ran a whole bunch of plays on that drive. Really took a lot of time off the clock. 10 plays, 59 yards for 5.5 minutes.
You like to see Peterson keep nailing those things through, though. You want your kicker to stay consistent.
Really, it started with the championship game last year. He's been pretty consistent since that time. Spack got in there first for Illinois State to stack up Lance Dunn for no gain. And Illinois State running out of time for any hope of a comeback. They've been a second-half team. They've rallied in every game they've been behind, but pretty tall order here at the Fargo Dome.
In fact, it was a huge rally last week in Terre Haute, being way down, and the defense led that rally. Coach Spack said, hey, 3 out of 4 possessions, our defense got off the field on 3 and outs. That gave the offense an opportunity to get back in the game, and then, of course, had that last drive that and they kind of ended with that fumble, but it was defense that got it started, and the Bison are controlling that defense now.
Dunn tiptoes through a hole and runs over a man all the way to the 38-yard line. Taken down by Jason Harris after a pretty good gain of 5 yards.
Kind of stretches out. You see the pull, the pin and pull, and the lead with the kick out block, and then just boom. It's a running back's job to kind of time that seam when it opens, hit it. That's what Dunn did there, but still 3rd down and, 6 yards, I suppose?
So trips to the near side here on 3rd and 6. And Easton Stick wants a timeout as the play clock was down to 1.
Whenever I see
Dakota State, they're first of the half.
Whenever I see the Bison line up like that, trips to the field, the first thing I always do is look and see who's on the other side. And in that case, it was Ilias.
Let's take a look at our new seed fan cam. The student section. See Carson Wentz jersey there, and there is the icon. One of the bigger Bison fans you'll ever find. On fan day, he gets here 7 hours early to get in line for fan day. There was some barking going on with the Illinois State coaching staff.
Yeah, Coach Spack and one of his assistants had 3 different officials around, and I don't know the reason for his opinion. Hey, as we're looking at Coach Spack, guess what has never happened when he's been coaching the Redbirds?
3 straight losses.
3 straight losses.
And this really puts Illinois State in a tough spot. 1-3, 0-2 in the Valley. For the hope of a playoff spot, the Redbirds need to find themselves in a hurry, and it doesn't get any easier. They got some tough games against Northern Iowa and South Dakota State still coming up.
Okay, so the Bison come out of the timeout with the same setup. It might not be the same play, but 3 wide to Sticks left. Looks like Ilias, the tight end, on the short side of the field.
Illinois State showing double A gap pressure here on 3rd and 6. Now they back out of it. And Stick is going to run. Stick's got room, and he has a first down up to the 31-yard line. Nice job up front by North Dakota State once again. Coker in on another tackle for the Redbirds.
Well, the beauty of this, and it doesn't matter if, in this case, if it's Stick running it or Wentz running it or Jensen before him running it, whenever you have a quarterback run, a designed quarterback run, you get the extra man. You get an extra blocker in that particular instance, and often that extra block is what makes enough room to pick up the first down.
So the Bison will take more time off the clock here with a fresh set of downs at the 32. There goes Frazier, running hard inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. Bello in on the tackle for Illinois State, along with Coker, who stayed very busy here this afternoon.
They watch Plankers pulling around, so that means it's a power play. This designed play is what chewed up and spit out the Hawkeyes in that win in the second half, and it's what the Bison do best. If NDSU is getting yards like that on first down, you're in trouble if you're on the defensive side. And that's nothing new. That's been happening for quite a while here.
Williams, the only receiver in the formation here. Bison go heavy. Frazier, good push. Look at him keep the legs churning. Eventually tripped up by Coker all the way down to the 16-yard line. Bradford Eric on the sidelines with us today has an injury update. Bradford?
Checking the mic. Check.
Well, you saw on that replay on the power once again, and this time it was Zach Johnson leading it, number 66. He takes care of Spack, and the Bison take care of the first down marker because it goes back to 1.
So first down at the 17. Williams again, the motion man. This time stick, play action. Looking. Now he's just going to throw it up and out of the back of the end zone. Good decision by the sophomore.
We're watching the maturing of a quarterback because that was a very mature play. Pulls out. He has a guard in front of him. The guard's there to protect for the pass. The out's not there. What he wants is Dimitri Williams on the deep drag. Deep crossing route, if you will, over the middle, and that doesn't appear. And so Stick does what he should do, get rid of it. Sometimes an incomplete pass is the best play.
Again, the Bison have pretty much done all the damage on the ground here on this drive.
And again, that has nothing to do with the physical things that Stick can do. That was mentally. That was a mental note.
Frazier, not as much this time. Across the 15 to the 14-yard line. Matt Swain got in there to make the tackle. Pretty quiet today for Matt Swain. Tough duty going up against some of those offensive tackles for North Dakota State.
Coach Kleiman's going to tack win number 31 behind his name to go along with a total of 3 losses. Isn't that crazy? It's a pretty good win percentage, isn't it?
Not bad. For a first-time head coach, not bad. Dunn falls ahead to the 13.
We're going to see the field goal unit.
And Peterson will come on for a field goal attempt, and Bradford Eric, we'll see if we got him downfield now. Bradford?
Hey guys, down here on the sideline, Team Doctor Bruce Pyatt confirming to me that number 13, Eric Perkins, is out for the rest of the day. He has a hand injury, so look for his replacement out there for the rest of this fourth quarter. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Bradford. And that would likely be Dallas Freeman, but they could play a number of guys in that spot. Peterson on for the 30-yard field goal attempt straight away. This one is up, and it is close. It is no good. A little bit to the left as Peterson misfires, and the score will remain 31-10 with 8:25 to go here in the game. We'll take a timeout and be back with more as North Dakota State looks to finish off the Redbirds and pick up their first Missouri Valley victory of the season.
We're going to bring it till they tell us to go home.
31-10 your score as Senator Hoven poses with Thundar. This game brought to you in high definition by Fisher Industries. They like the tough jobs. Illinois State back to work. Floats it up for Gibbs. Incomplete. That one just a little bit out of the reach. Pretty good coverage by Jalen Allison along with Robbie Grimsley.
Well, Colby was really trying to test himself. That window was tight to try to slip that thing in there. You need a better opportunity to beat the safety, and Grimsley was not going to give that up. That was a tough one. Given the situation of the game, something to try for, but earlier in the game, I don't think Colby would have tried that. He'd have taken the under.
Colby to throw again. Pressure coming, and down he goes. Caleb Butler, his second of the game. And these defensive ends and defensive tackles are just pinning their ears back now and coming after Jake Colby.
Here comes Butler on the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay, but Colby just doesn't have any chance to set up. 3 short little drops. His first read's not there. You saw him try to scan the field, and when he looked back, he saw nothing but green jersey coming his way.
So 3rd and long again. 3rd and 18 here for Illinois State. Colby hanging in there. Pressure coming. Escapes. Now he's going to run. And he's not going to get what he needs. Back to the original line of scrimmage around the 20-yard line, and that's it. We'll bring up 4th and 10. At what point do you just go for it here if you're Illinois State?
Not here.
Probably not in this situation.
The one thing you cannot say is you cannot say that Colby's not a tough kid, because last week he was banged up, banged around, didn't start, came in, and he's getting knocked around again here today.
Illinois State just 25% now on third down today. End over end kick to Shepard, who will take it at the 36, juggle it a little bit, and then he's swarmed under by about 6 Redbirds.
Well, that's where not having Perkins in there, he's your sure hand man.
31-10 still your score. North Dakota State has the football with just over 7 minutes to go from here in Fargo.
We're going to bring it till they tell us to.
ESU content to punt the football away here with 5.5 to go.
Probably would have preferred maybe if Frazier stays inbounds, but of course he's trying to do two things. The first thing is get that first down, but then the two safeties come in and make the tackle out of bounds. So, and then clock will wind again, but just stop it for a little while.
Kuntz on to punt. Deep for Illinois State, Spencer Schnell, whose father was a standout at IU, went out to play for the Buffalo Bills. Nice high punt. Schnell calls for the fair catch at the 16, so Illinois State backed up once again with under 5 minutes to go. And North Dakota State has really been content to just run the football, take time off the clock, and get out of here after building a huge first half lead.
And play the field position game, and let your defensive line go to work. And you see Derek Tuska, number 91, the redshirt freshman, younger of the two, is getting a rotation at defensive end now. Boy, and do the Bison love his future.
Very excited about Tuska and Cole Karps, who is out this week, hoping to get him back next week along with Eric Bachmeyer. Fires in the flat. There's Warham. It's been a while since he's made a catch. Has a first down up to the 29, gain of 12.
Well, Jalen Allison has been playing press coverage most of today, but given the situation, time on the clock, you see Warham, you're just not going to get up there and jam and take the risk out on the edge. You're going to try to keep everything in front of you, keep that clock moving.
5 receptions, 82 yards now for Warham. And another completion. Michael Calslow makes his first catch of the day up to the 39, good enough for another first down. Pushed out of bounds there by G. Tucker. Motions into the backfield. Colby going deep, has an open receiver, and it is dropped, and Fowler probably had another touchdown. Could he have hung on? Well placed by Colby, hanging in there. Let's take a look at the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay.
Takes the inside route. Grimsley's job is to what? Not get beat deep. Fowler used his speed, ran right past him, and Grimsley is saying thank you to himself because of the drop.
Colby fires, open receiver again as he looks off the coverage, and it's Fowler, now over 100 yards receiving. Makes the catch inside Bison territory to the 40.
Well, he's the breakout player of the day, and again, we'll isolate on the Nodak Mutual Insurance replay. You can tell the Bison playing the zone, slips past the short side, goes to the wide side where Grimsley can't get there. And also Colby did a good job on the play fake too.
Pressure comes, Colby gets rid of it, caught. Gibbs makes the catch, gain of 4 to the 36, out of bounds.
Colby stood in there, took a pretty good shot. I think it was from Stanley Jones. I'm impressed with Colby's ability to pass, so his stats are legit with that 70% coming into this game. I mean, he's earning it. Bison are making him earn it.
Inside handoff goes to DeMarco Corbin, just his second carry of the day. Redshirt freshman out of Euless, Texas. Tangway makes the stop for North Dakota State. Colby, incomplete, looking for Schnell, and the Redbirds likely to go for it here.
They'll stay on the field, but the Bison dialed up a little bit of pressure on this play. And Colby knew he did not have long to pass it. Didn't, a little bit of a slant in.
Iowa just 34 rushing yards 2 weeks ago against North Dakota State. Illinois State has just 30. So the rush defense pretty strong for the Bison the last couple of weeks.
2 out of 3, fourth down on the year.
Colby under pressure gets rid of it and incomplete. And boy, did he take a shot, and he's still down. G. Tucker came from the edge.
Here G. Tucker knocks the quarterback down, and Colby's, boy, he's just getting blasted. He's hanging in there,
out of the field.
But he's getting hit. He's paying for it.
So Illinois State can't convert, and the Bison will take over with 3:07 to go when we come back. Michael Kelly also in there, freshman from Oaks, North Dakota. Purifoy stacked up on the play nicely by Bryce Holm. Gain of 1.
I know on the 2 deep, Holm is listed as the non-starter, but he has played far and away the most reps in that position today. He was in early, and he's played a bunch.
Well, they've mentioned coming in, Illinois State, that Brent Spack was a little bit banged up coming in here.
See a good hand as Kunert comes off, and Zach Zemer is now in there playing left guard.
Purifoy falls ahead to the 28-yard line. Adam Conley on the tackle there for Illinois State.
Timeout. Illinois State, their first of the half, which will be 30 seconds in length.
Curious timeout there for Illinois State.
Maybe they need more time for the charter to get the motors warmed up or something.
Well, Bradford Eric reporting earlier in the game, we have not seen Bruce Anderson today, number 8, still nursing a little bit of an ankle injury from the Iowa game, so I think precautionary reasons, deciding to hold him out today.
We'll be on the road next week.
We will, in Missouri. Should be a lot of fun down in Springfield, bringing you the Missouri State NDSU game. The Bears won their first 2 games of the year and then lost at Kansas State in a game that ended at halftime because of lightning.
Lightning, yeah. Well, we're inside, but this game kind of ended at halftime too.
There's no question. Stretch play, Purifoy darts around the outside to the 35-yard line, gains about 6. And Illinois State will take another timeout.
Timeout. Illinois State, their second of the half, which will be 30 seconds in length.
Well, for the second straight week, 2 LT, penalties really not an issue for North Dakota State. Much cleaner the last 2 weeks. No turnovers. Here's a look at Brock Spack. His team will have to find a way to rally back from an 0-2 hole in the Valley. 2-3 overall.
That's the biggest thing when you're starting this conference, and we know how difficult it is to run the gauntlet in the Missouri Valley Conference. When you're starting with 2 losses, ouch.
Yeah, nothing easy about it.
And that's one thing. It's one thing that 2 weeks ago the Bison really gained, is they gained a bunch of playoff equity with the win over, over Iowa as well. So the Bison have a lot more leeway probably through the conference in terms of potential wins and losses when you look at the big picture.
I spoke earlier. Illinois State actually avoids Northern Iowa on the schedule this year, so they don't have to face the Panthers the next 2 games at home against Youngstown State and Southern Illinois before hitting the road to South Dakota. So those are 3 games that the Redbirds are going to have to find a way to win all 3.
They have to win all 3 or they're in big trouble.
Still got a home game against South Dakota State on the schedule and a game at Western Illinois late in the year.
Jack Darnell is going to play a little defensive tackle, redshirt freshman.
Moved up to 2nd on the depth chart at defensive tackle. A young man that, again, heavily recruited out of the Twin Cities.
Played at Champlin Park.
Tristan Smith and a quarterback now for Illinois State. And that catch is not made. Gibbs could not get the feet down, incomplete.
Yeah, Smith started last week because the hope for Coach Spack and his crew was that Colby could go the whole day and not play with that shoulder that we've talked about, but the offense was just not there.
Well, the last time these 2 teams met in the regular season was here in the Fargo Dome. 28-10 was the final. 31-10 is our score right now. Smith fires, caught. And that's the backup tight end, Michael Clements, who has a first down to the 47.
He was a little questionable coming into the day, too, but he's not just playing here. He, in the last couple of minutes, he was into the game earlier in the first half as well. Marquise Bridges playing a little corner right now.
Boy, nice job by Darnell, really stringing that thing out, and the Bison finish him off after a loss of 8.
McCoy ends up making the tackle, but let's talk a little bit about Bridges. And you're thinking, what? If you're just, I thought he was a wide receiver. Well, he was. He's
up until about
anymore.
10 days ago. Yep. Again, I was looking through the depth chart. At the end of the day, at the end of Chris Kleiman's press conference, and I said, Marquise Bridges to corner. They said, yeah, he's been there for the last 10 days. An opportunity for him to get on the field. Needs some depth at corner, and at De La Salle High School did a nice job in that spot for the power that is De La Salle High School. Tristan Smith will run for about 9, get out of bounds at the 48.
You're right. He was a real good corner in high school, but he has the hips, he has the speed, and he has the ball skills to, that comes from practicing all those reps at wide receiver. The Bison do need help at the corner position to try to build a little more depth, and Marquise is going to do what his coaches ask of him, and that's learn a new position right in the middle of the year.
Chris Kleiman said he will be there for the remainder of this fall, and then maybe in the spring we'll look at moving him back to wide receiver. We'll see what happens. Smith under pressure. Throws on the run. Incomplete, looking for Warham, and there's Bridges on the coverage.
Darren Kelly also playing a little safety out there right now. He's a junior from Baltimore.
Yeah, science transfer.
We saw that shot of Stanley Jones, number 94, and again, Stanley, a little story on his Bismarck family. What am I talking about? Well, his family lives in Mexico. They moved back to Mexico right before Stanley's senior year of high school at Bismarck High, and so one of his teachers took him in for that final year before coming. So we'll have that tomorrow on the Bison Football Show.
Yeah, Darren Kelly was a guy they really got on the radar late. Had a couple FBS offers and an offer from Northern Iowa, among others, and chose North Dakota State on the final weekend before signing day. Smith flushed out, going to run. Nice job by Quentin McCoy taking him down at the 49-yard line of NDSU. And that is short of the first down. North Dakota State will take a couple of knees, maybe just one, as long as Illinois State doesn't take their last time out.
Last time out, yeah. I wouldn't think that Coach Spack would do that, but
the Bison pretty impressive.
Oh, offense today was fantastic. 452 yards, I think, is where the Bison are right now. The production in the second quarter and then coming out at halftime in the third quarter, fantastic.
And North Dakota State now a 23-game winning streak coming off a bye week. Tough to beat the Bison when they get a week off. Davis will take the snap, take a knee, and that will do it. North Dakota State will move to 4-0, 1-0 in the Valley. 31-10 is your final here today. There's a look at Spack.
And for the first time in his coaching career at Illinois State, Coach Spack has lost 3 straight games.